what is your sense of what's happening in this conflict thus far? I mean, we are day six right now. Tensions are high, and a lot is going on. It's got a lot of moving pieces. So, what is your general assessment of the entire situation? Understand we fall on different sides on this particular issue, which is
Right.
interesting, but of course, we always cordial and try to understand each other's position. So, yeah, what is your sense of recent happenings right now?
I have a few things to start with. First of all, Trump is not a peace candidate, and for those who thought he
Yeah,
deserved a peace prize, a Nobel Peace
Nobel Peace
Prize,
Prize.
I'm
Yeah.
sure you guys can put that in a gutter and bury it, because that is never ever ever going to happen. First
Okay.
observation. Second observation, I believe that this Israel Iran war is not a coincidence. It's not something that all of a sudden came up 5 days ago.
Mhm.
This has been something that has been worked out for a long time.
Yeah.
And again, for those of you who remember uh, the last 10 years, there's been Iraq, there's been
Yeah.
Afghanistan, there's been
Mhm.
Libya, there's been Syria, there's been Yemen, there's been Sudan. So
Mhm.
Iran is the last piece of the puzzle. And if you look at the similarities between these governments, there is a strong connection between Iran and every one of these governments that these countries that I have listed.
Right.
Iran supported Syria. They were allies. Talk about Libya. Talk about the relationship Iran and Iraq, even though they've had their own issues, but eventually they became close allies, right? Yemen, So there is definitely a pattern here, and again, this pattern has a certain lie that comes in between. Remember what they said about Libya?
Mhm.
That was a big lie.
Yeah.
Remember what they said about Iraq? Same pattern. They pick a nation and they find a lie that they could use to paint them black.
Mhm.
Like you have to, like they say, I don't know if I say it correctly. You blame the dog before you kill it. You find a reason.
You give the dog a bad
You give
name,
the dog a
basically.
bad name, right?
Yeah.
So you can, do what it is that you want to do with it.
Mhm.
Iraq, weapons of mass destruction. You remember that, right?
I
The
do.
weapons of mass, which we haven't found on today. Now the Tony Blairs and everyone who was involved, they're out here confessing
Yeah.
how big the mistake was. They would blame it on the intelligence agents, but I'm sure they all knew what it is that they were doing, right?
Yeah.
Now, Iran, all of a sudden, Iran is going to build an atomic bomb in 2 days. You remember, Netanyahu has been on and off head of Israel for probably has been involved in that politics for the past 30 years. And in the past 30 years, every 2 years, he comes out and says Iran is going to build a bomb in 2 months. He
Mhm.
has been saying that for the past 30 years. And now he is using that as a pretext to attack Iran. And let's not forget, Israel attacked Iran first
Mhm.
and not the other way around. So for me,
Yeah.
this is not a surprise. It's been a long time coming. I am
Mhm.
not surprised that it happened.
Right.
Again, I would say that they picked the wrong time to do it.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
first observations. I have a lot to say, but let's leave it
We
at that.
do, yeah. I'm sure a lot is gonna come.
Right.
I'm sure a lot is gonna come later on.
Mhm.
Obviously, I share different sentiments. I
Yeah.
I think Iran has also been a cause of a lot of trouble around the region. They have supported organizations that Israel deems as terrorist organizations that are out to decimate Israel, to eliminate Israel out of the face of the earth. Netanyahu is sharing that Iran is sponsoring Hamas. We all know what happened on October 7th. Of course, there's been retaliation, heavy retaliation from Israel on that front. And I supported that thing, changing my mind. We discussed it last time because of all the killings that's happened in Gaza. Um, Netanyahu is still saying that Israel is not Israel, sorry, Iran is sponsoring the Houthis. So, of course, you did say Yemen there, which I don't think is the case. I don't think you meant that.
No, Yemen, the Houthis are there in Yemen.
Yeah, but the Yemeni government is fighting the Houthis.
Which
So,
is the Yemeni government? We can have that conversation if you want. Which one
right,
is the Yemeni government? The one
it's
that
not.
has a majority of the territory, or the one that is recognized by Israel and the United States? Which one is the government?
Are you saying the Houthis are the government of
The
Yemen?
Houthis are the government. They run a majority of in terms of
Okay.
land territory, right? So let's not go there.
Okay, so yeah,
Fine.
yeah. So Israel's assessment is Iran is supporting all these organizations that are interested and well vested in the destruction of Israel, elimination out of the face of the earth. And Israel also thinks they are the first of many. When they get Israel, they're going to get US. And there is also video evidence. Today it happened in the parliament of Iran, where they're singing Death to America, where they are interested to in eliminating America. After, of course, they have to deal with Israel. So there is vested interest in all parts of the world, in all parts of the world because of the potential for this conflict to escalate. But it's not like Iran is without fault here because they also have provocations that they've made. They are also, if they had the means, they've said it that they'll be able, they want to eliminate Israel from the planet of the earth. Is that true or no?
If we go with what people say, then everybody is like, you remember they say he is without sin to cast the first stone, right?
No.
You remember that saying.
I know that,
If we
yeah.
do we want, is there a state in the world that can claim that they are pure and they hate nobody and they haven't said anything that's offensive or that's
No,
derogatory? Can
no.
we pick out a state? What has Iran done to demonstrate that they have an intention to wipe out Israel off the face of the map, other than just saying death to America? What is it that Iranians have done to warrant you to
Well,
believe that they would take steps to wipe America or Israel off the state of the map? I haven't seen anything.
yeah. Well, but when somebody tells you something, believe them. It's like, I'm telling you, I'm going to kill you. What are you going to bank on? So yeah, some can be just rhetoric and just word of mouth and no like credible intentions behind it. But the case of Iran is different. They are committed to developing nuclear program. They don't even want to be assessed by the International Agency of Energy Power or whatever. I've forgotten the acronym for that. They don't even want them to say it. They, by Israel's assessment, have developed uranium more than the required amount for development. That's Israel's assessment of the situation. Um,
They don't have access to the program. How do they come up with that assessment? Intelligence?
that's our own
The
intelligence.
same kind of intelligence that said Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass
Exactly,
destruction.
exactly the
Is
point.
it that same kind of
Exactly,
intelligence we're
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about? Because
And I
again,
thought that, yeah.
when you say Iran doesn't allow, first of all, Iran has a right
Hmm.
to operate and to run a civilian nuclear energy program. Do we agree?
They do, yeah, sure.
Fine. It takes 90% plus to get a nuclear bomb.
Hmm.
Iran only has 60%. Within
Right.
their right, I mean enrichment,
Hmm.
they've only gone up to 60%, which is still within their rights. They
Hmm.
have not demonstrated. Chelsea Gaba, who is the director of national security, no, national intelligence, director of national
Okay.
intelligence,
Yeah.
said 2 months ago there is no evidence that
Right.
Iran is making any effort
Hmm.
to develop a nuclear weapon. She
Yeah.
said it in
Hmm.
Congress under oath. Trump is the one who appointed Chelsea Gaba to that position
Hmm.
because of the because she is a trustworthy, reliable, and straightforward kind of person, and she
Yeah.
has said it really clear.
Okay.
They are not developing a nuclear weapon. Even if they were to develop a nuclear weapon, it would take them years. That is the national intelligence assessment of Iran's nuclear weapons program and
Hmm.
nuclear development program. They are not developing nuclear weapons. It is clear. Benjamin Netanyahu, as you know, has been saying this for 30 years.
Hmm.
He has been lying to us for 30 years about this program
Hmm.
until now. what I think is Israel believes that the Iran is weak because they've dealt with the Yemen. According to them, they've dealt with the Yemenis. They've dealt with there's no Syrian government, so the Syrian airspace is empty. They can fly as they please. They have dealt with the group in Lebanon, Hezbollah.
Hmm.
So according to them, Israel is weak, and that is the only reason that they are making this move
Iran,
because they rely on the support of the US,
right?
right? So that is
Yeah.
the only reason why they are making this move. Is Iran is no threat to the United States. First of all, they are way on the other side, and the US is way there's
The,
a massive. There's no way Iran attacks the United States.
why
Let's
not?
just
Why
agree.
not? Why
How?
not?
How?
How
Explain how.
not? How they are taking Israel? How they are taking Israel, and you think those cannot happen in the United States? Why don't you think that's possible? That's going to happen in the
They
United States?
haven't. They
They
haven't
have
done it.
not. Doesn't mean it's not happening. It's
No,
not.
it's not.
It doesn't have the potential of happening.
If we go by
That,
potential, because again, this is the you people talk about potential, man. If we wanted to anticipate
first of
everything
all,
that can happen, because
first
this
of
is
all,
you,
let's create the boundaries of the conversation. The
right?
U.S. right now is not involved
That's
in
a
the
big
war.
lie. That is semantics. That's a big lie.
Okay, how are they involved?
Israel does not make. I mean, man, come on. Where
Okay,
does
okay.
Israel get weapons?
Let us know how. Tell me how the U.S. is involved in the war right now.
The US supplies every weapon that that Israel has. The US is providing the how you call it, the to shoot down missiles.
The anti-dome, the
America
David
is doing that.
sling, and
America is
well,
doing that.
but it,
America is shooting down missiles. When you say they are
hmm.
not involved, what do you mean by not being involved? When they are doing all these things for Israel, what do you mean by they are not involved?
Well, because they are flying Israel, according to the U.S. right now, they are not involved. They are being informed by Israel about what is going on.
Are they involved
Um,
in Ukraine?
the U.S.
Yes.
I don't know what
Are they
by
involved in
supplying
Ukraine? Is there
by
any war
supplying
going on?
money. Of course, the
They are doing
really
the same thing to Israel. So if you can say they're involved in Ukraine, they are definitely
they are
involved in
involved.
Israel
Well,
because they are
technically,
providing
okay.
weapons. They are providing the
Mm,
anti defense system. They are providing
yeah,
money, $3
okay.
billion every year. That
To
is what
support Israel.
America gives to the
Well,
United States. Gives to
anyway,
Israel.
that's not, well, fair point, fair point. But
Okay.
to say Iran is not interested in attacking the Israel. I don't think it's in attacking US. I don't think it's a fair statement. But anyways, I don't want to get carried away about US Iran. Really,
Right.
right now the fight is Israel and Iran, and Israel
I
is
mean, if you're
willing.
naive and you want us to take the naive direction, well, I will agree with you.
Okay, yeah,
That
they
is
are supported by
Israel,
Israel.
Iran.
I agree. I
That's
agree. They're
very
supported by
naive, and
US.
we can go with that.
No, I agree. They're supported by US to attack Israel.
Perfect.
But I guess my starting point is why does Iran hate Israel so much?
Is that a
That's a question. That's a question to you. They have stated it's public policy stated by the supreme leader. It is a policy to eliminate Israel from the planet of the earth.
and so what? And I don't.
But no, I need to know
What's
why
the
they
point?
why.
That's the justification for the attack
No, that's not. I
Friday.
just need to know. I just need to know why is it important and why is it government policy for Iran to eliminate Israel from the planet of Earth?
I don't know. Do you know?
Well, because you're all saying Iran cannot attack Israel. Iran is not doing it.
They
They
have
are
not
doing it
done.
right now.
They haven't done anything in 30 years.
Ah,
So if again, it goes back to us anticipating a crime. You know what? If we were to stay out here and anticipate everything that anybody would do, there would be no one left out here.
no,
I'm
no,
sure you agree with me.
qualitatively, there is a difference between someone making empty words without any action. But if someone is really committed, and you don't seem to think that people who have enriched that uranium, where the percent agreed upon was 3%, they are
No, no,
now
no.
at
Agreed
60%.
upon with who?
with the international organizations, so
No,
treaties
no,
that they
no,
have
no,
signed.
no, no, no. They agreed that with Joe Biden. That is a treaty that Donald Trump canceled. So when you
Why?
terminate,
Why did Trump cancel? Why did Trump cancel
only
it?
Trump can give you an answer to that. When you
Because
terminate
they went
a
they
party,
went beyond the required amount. That's
no,
it. Why? Okay, why did Trump cancel the treaty?
me and you know Trump.
But I mean, okay,
There's
that's
no
what I'm
logic.
saying.
There's no logic. There's no logic for canceling that treaty. No logic,
Okay, yeah,
because they only went past the agreed amount after Trump canceled during his first term. And
okay.
again, it is within their right to run a civilian nuclear program. Let's not forget, it's not a military
No
program.
one
It's a
disagrees with
civilian.
that.
Everybody has it. Israel has a nuclear program, weaponized. Pakistan has a nuclear program, weaponized. India has a nuclear program, weaponized.
Yeah,
Russia, US, China, North Korea,
yeah.
officially. Iran does not have a military nuclear program.
Again,
No,
because the difference is one has said one country on the planet of Earth we have to eliminate. They are our arch enemy. It is our policy to get rid of them from the planet Earth. There's the qualitative difference there. If I say I just have a nuclear program for self-protection, so should someone agree with me? That's different. To someone attack me, that's different. But if my goal, the policy of my government is to eliminate another country, that's a cause for concern, is it
if
not?
if if, if Israel is so worried about Iran eliminating them, why are they not just nuking Iran? They have nuclear weapons. I mean, since we're
Okay,
talking about one person wants to eliminate you, why don't you just throw the nuclear bomb on them and get rid of them? Since you're so worried about your security, why
I don't
not?
understand. So you want Israel to have a full blown attack on Iran
It's
now?
logic. It's logic. If I'm so worried about you, Ghana, I'll kill you first if I get a chance. Why should I hurt you if I could kill you? If I'm so worried about you being a threat to my existence, why not
Mhm.
nuke you? I have the means. Iran has nuclear weapons. I mean,
Right.
sorry, Israel has nuclear weapons. If
Yeah.
Iran is such a threat to Israel, why not just bomb them, send them a two, three, four nuclear bombs?
You're
Iran
talking
doesn't
about
have
bombing.
any.
You're
Iran
bombing
doesn't
about
have any.
you're talking about 92 million people. Why kill them?
I
Because
mean,
the government.
they have enough nuclear bombs to bomb the Iran out of the surface of the earth too. If they are so worried about Iran, so
So
is it
is
Iran
it
or
okay?
is it the
If
government? What is it that they're worried about?
I just said government policy, so it's the government here.
So they believe that a new government would show
They
up.
don't believe the government has said it. The supreme leader has said it. We have a tweet that we're going to show. The supreme leader has
Let
literally
me
said it.
let me find it.
That is it's not just a slogan. It is government policy. Okay, so we're not talking here about being a slogan. They have said that that's part of the government policy. Okay,
Okay.
this is today. They're saying death to America. Okay,
And you
and
don't think it makes sense for someone to say
well, it
death
makes
to
sense,
America?
of course. I
America,
mean,
if America is supporting my enemy to attack me, I can't say death to America.
no, you can't. Of course, is this the first time they've been saying it? They have said it for many years. They haven't been attacked. But then there's the American and Israel things that it is time when they have enriched uranium up to potential for nuclear weapons. So the intelligence is very different right now. It's not just saying death to America. There is potential to eliminate another country from the face of the earth. That is what they're dealing with right now.
Right now, in all honesty, you believe that Iran has what it takes to wipe out Israel and the United States out of the surface of the earth.
I,
That's
yeah,
your
they
belief.
no
That is your
no
belief right now as
no
we
no.
speak.
Right now they don't. According to what I'm reading in the news, they don't. But they are at level where they are about to get it. That's what the intelligence
Again,
is
we are
all about.
again the anticipation. We anticipate that in 1 year Ghana is going to attack me. So
Right.
I have to deal with Ghana now, so that maybe or maybe he wouldn't, but so that he doesn't get the opportunity to decide whether or not to attack. That
Right.
that's how we are
Exactly.
choosing.
Exactly.
That's how the world operates
And
now.
I give you a simple analogy. You have a neighbor who is planning to kill you and your entire household,
Yes,
and then that neighbor goes out and buys a gun.
right.
What are you going to do?
If I have a bomb, I'll drop it on their heads.
So you are even more radical than Israel.
No, no, I'm
Israel is
saying, listen, listen. This is not.
yeah you
Listen to the
yeah
irony.
listen please
Listen to the
land
irony. If
please
I
land
have a bomb that
yeah
would destroy that house, I
yeah
will use it. If I have a
uh-huh.
legitimate fear
Yeah
for the safety of myself and my family.
right.
But again, to show you or to say that there is no legitimate concern for Iran, what are they doing? They are doing pick prints, shooting one little missile here, bombing this here and there. They have nuclear weapons. They should burn Iran down. Why are they? Why are they? Why
Are you
are they?
saying Iran? Are you saying Iran is not a powerful nation?
I'm saying that Israel has nuclear weapons, and if they are so worried about their safety, they should use it.
So should Israel use nuclear weapon on Iran?
If they are so worried about their safety, and if they
Well,
are so
okay,
sure,
because you are advocating for.
and I
Okay,
listen.
sorry. Yeah,
If they
I
are
need to
so
understand you. I need to understand
Yes,
you.
if they are so
Yeah,
worried about their safety and they
they
are so
are.
sure
Uh-huh.
that Iran is going to build a nuclear bomb and wipe them off the surface of the earth, they should use nuclear weapons.
Or maybe they can just go to that neighbor's house and then try to destroy the gun and leave the neighbor there.
Oh, they could just
Why is that? Why is that option not? Why is that option not there? Because
if
you
they are
are
so worried,
advocating.
why would you risk going to the neighbor's house to take a gun when you can just bomb the whole
Let
thing?
me, if I understand you very well, Asom, you're advocating for a policy, you're advocating for easier to completely destroy Iran. Is that what you're advocating for?
If they are so worried
If the intelligence is right.
if they are so worried about their safety.
If, no, if they is that really what you're advocating for? So you're actually more radical than Israel.
If they are so worried about their safety, yes, they should use it. And the only reason why they are not using it is because they know 100% that Iran has no intention to wipe anybody out of the surface of the earth.
Well, you can't even make
I
that
mean,
argument.
it's been 30 years plus. They
Mhm.
have been saying this for 30 years.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
not forget, they have been saying this for 30 years.
Mhm.
So why wait?
Okay, if I really try, because I'm shocked. I'm really shocked to hear this from
Can
you.
I listen to the logic? Forget about the words I'm using. Listen to the this is me, how they call it. This is me talking to you in
Hyperbole,
hyperbole. Yes. Does that make
like
sense?
Trump. Yeah, I understand. I totally
Like
understand
Trump.
you.
Right. This is me being crazy like Trump.
Yeah, yeah.
So so
If Israel is so worried, let me make sure I paraphrase you and I represent your argument very well.
right.
If Israel is so worried that Iran gaining nuclear weapon is going to destroy Israel off the planet of the earth, they should just nuke Israel. Israel should just nuke Iran.
Isn't that the easier way to go?
Or if they are not doing it, then they really believe that Iran doesn't want to nuke them.
Exactly.
If that's your argument,
That's the point I'm making. Yes.
okay. But I think that doesn't really take into account the fact that Iran has stated, as we just showed, that it's
Mhm,
the public policy that
mhm.
debt to America, by extension, debt to Israel, is part of public policy. Okay, and
It's not in the wait again. It's not in it's not in the Iranian constitution.
oh yeah, we don't know, but does it matter to
It's not
be in
there.
the?
It does matter. The constitution is what guides even the Ayatollah, right? He doesn't make decisions on the whim.
Okay, well, but Israel thinks they have intelligence that Iran has developed uranium more than the required amount, and they are on the path to develop nuclear bombs. What should Israel do? You want Israel to? Okay, let me not suggest here. What is your idea Israel should do?
They've had this intelligence for 30 years and it's been a lie all through.
Okay, I don't know. Now they say Iran has
No, no,
developed
no, don't
nuclear
say you don't know. Netanyahu has been talking about Iran's nuclear weaponization for
right.
30 years. You know that.
Hmm.
In the United Nations, you remember him with the map on the bomb? That
Right.
was several
Yeah.
years back.
Fair. Yeah.
If they were so on the edge, if they were so on the edge, why did he not do anything? Why now? Because he's been in a leadership position on and off for the past 30 years.
Hmm.
So why now? It's the same lie that they're
Well,
perpetuating.
yeah.
It's the same lie.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
fair.
if you tell me a lie three, four, five times, You're probably telling me a lie now.
Fair, fair
And
enough.
again,
But
like I said, Ghana, Tosi
mhm,
Gaba
right. Well, okay, yeah, I get the point of
is
Tulsi
saying,
Gabbard. But Tulsi Gabbard, she has a very high position in the United States government, but she's not the president.
no,
And
no. I'm saying that in terms of she is the one who
she
manages
holds, yeah,
intelligence.
yeah,
And if she is saying that the intelligence community
hmm
is not the information they are getting is
right.
that Iran is not
No, yeah.
weaponizing, is not making a nuclear weapon. They are not even close
They are not even close.
to the
But
level
then the
of
president,
development where they can make a weapon.
why, why the hyper focus on Tulsi? The president of the United States has said Iran is close to developing nuclear weapons. That
Where did he
Iran
get that
cannot have.
information? Where does it come from? You think
I don't
Donald Trump
know.
has? You think Donald Trump has special group of people who bypass their national security director, national
Well,
intelligence director to pass information to Trump that Tulsi Gabbard doesn't know?
so you're telling me, if the president of a company tells you that we have this intelligence, and the vice president, or maybe the the let's say vice president has
Let
contrary,
me make a simple analysis, right?
yeah,
The president of your company
hmm
says there's no ink in the printer,
right,
and then the person who works in the mail room, who is in
mm,
charge of knowing whether there's print or not, tells you, yeah, there's print in the printer. I just left the printer and it's printing because it's printing it. What makes sense? Now we need to think about who has an agenda. It is a matter of agenda. Trump,
right,
in line with Netanyahu and the war hawks, and they have an agenda. Iran is the next target, and this
hmm
is an opportunity now that they believe that Iran is weak. This is an
hmm
opportunity to use it. Do we remember? Do we remember Colin Powell and the white ink in the United Nations telling people that this is weapon? I mean, who shakes a
weapon of
weapon?
mass destruction, yeah.
Who,
I
do you remember that? It was an
oh, of course,
agenda. They have an agenda. They will do everything it takes to implement that agenda, and that's it.
hmm
Trump had an interview, and they say, "Hey, your national, your intelligence
director of
director is
intelligence,
saying that Iran." Trump says, "Who cares?"
right.
He didn't say it's a lie. He said, "Who cares? Who cares about what that idiot is saying?"
anyways, Tulsi Gabbard high up in the United States government, but she wasn't elected by the by the American people. They elected Trump, so he's acting on behalf of the American. By the way, he is a commander in chief, so you will hope he's acting in the best interest of the country. Because by the way, he was the one elected by how many million, more than 80 million people,
Right.
got the popular vote, got everything. So he is the one whose words matters, whose signature matters when it comes to this issue of involvement in international war or not. I'm sure it's his director of intelligence is going contrary to that, but at the end of the day, he is the one who makes the call.
Right.
Okay, so it's our hope that he's been briefed with the most recent information and has what is top notch.
Right.
It's unfortunate to see that there's a big divide on this thing. They should be on the same page, but yeah, it is what
It's
it
not
is.
just. It's not just. It's not just Tulsi Gabbard. Go to the Senate. Check Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know who he is. She's been a strong
She is.
supporter of Donald
She's
Trump.
been a
She is one
trigger.
of the few people who got Donald Trump to where Donald Trump is today, right?
Yeah.
Rand
Oh,
Paul. I mean,
those
it's a
are
group of
healthy.
people. She's not single. I'm not saying that single-handedly, but she's
Yeah.
part of that group. There's Go listen to what Marjorie Taylor is saying. Listen to what Rand Paul is saying, right? Listen to what Tucker Carlson is saying.
Yeah.
These are
Those are healthy conversations, and people have different ideas. Those are healthy debates to be had,
right,
even within the party, even within the MAGA movement, even within people who have a common goal. You should be able to have this conversation. Listen to people who have varying opinions.
right.
Listen to people who have contrary opinions. But at the end of the day, it is the president's duty to act on the interests of the country. So if he has intelligence that he thinks otherwise, or he has an agenda, it's unfortunate the people voted him, and it is what that counts. Okay,
Yeah,
so yeah, all these people can have contrary opinion. Tucker Carlson and whatever, very smart people, of course, and I'm sure they know what they're talking about, but they were not voted by the American people.
hmm
They are not the commander in chief.
hmm
Trump is. So it is my hope, at least, that he has the best information, the best intelligence
Mhm.
that he needs to be able to make a decision with what's happening right now. So I can't argue with that. People have contrary opinion. I think it's healthy that people should disagree with the president on these
Right,
issues.
right.
It's healthy that people should have contrary. Even the people that supported him fiercely, I think it's a healthy thing to have. You can't just stick your head in the sand. But it still boils down to the fact that none of them were voted by the American people. None
Mhm.
of them has a title commander in chief. That's a different
That is, of
situation.
course.
Yeah. So I do not disagree with you that all these people have contrary things to say, and a lot of them are coming out different. But I think it's healthy to have all these conversations.
Hmm.
The president should not just have people that always support his agenda, always
Hmm.
support his ideas. Then that we're not living in a democracy. So
Right,
all these things matter. They do matter. But at the end of the day, we have just one captain of the ship.
right.
So we
In your opinion, in
yeah,
again, in your opinion, or based on observations, you do you
yeah.
think that Israel is realizing its goal?
Realizing his goal. Well, if them, if I watch everything, they have destroyed a lot of what they thought to be nuclear sites in
They,
Iran.
they, they say they have,
Uh,
yes.
yeah, they say that. See, I think in our conversation and our conversation in our group, I think my what I'm narrowing it down to is people are skeptical of what politicians say, and with reason. I am skeptical of a lot of things that politicians say, and of course Netanyahu, especially his involvement in
No,
Iran.
he's a liar. He's been lying to us for
He's
years.
right. So there's
He's a
absolute,
criminal. Remember, he's undergoing trial. You remember?
of course,
Investigated. So yeah,
yeah,
he's a criminal, wanted criminal. Even though
by the ICC, right? So
still
yeah,
able to
even
live. Right.
South Africa offered to arrest him. So that's fine. But I go what I hope I'm not blindly believing these people, but I go with what they say and the debate that's happening, and I'm trying to make judgment. I try to read what's happening in Iran from the Ayatollahs, what they're actually saying, and then
Right.
I try to make a judgment. I hope they're all coming to this in good faith and they're saying what is actually happening and they mean what they say.
Do
Particularly
you
being a fierce
believe,
supporter.
based on what
The,
you know about how the world works, do you believe? You remember how they said, "Oh, Russia is going to
right.
crumble. Russia has no
I
more
know.
weapon. They are running out of this. Russia has been
Yeah.
running out of missiles for 3 years today, and they keep saying it. They
They
tell us
keep
the
saying
same
it.
lie over and
Well,
over,
but
hoping that we believe. You're
sure.
right.
Yeah.
Ukraine has been winning from the very start of this
From
war.
the very first day.
You remember that, right?
I do. I
I
do.
mean, after losing 30%
Of the
of
population.
Ukraine,
Yeah.
but they are still winning.
So,
That is what
yeah.
they are telling us. Do you believe
Mhm.
that
But
is that Israel is achieving its goal?
again, that's a fair question. Um, at the end of the day, we have to go by what these people say. I mean, you two are going by that. Do you believe what is coming from Iran? I can pose the same question from you. You like they too. Why do you think they are telling the truth? Why do you think they're up from everything? Why do you think they say they are developing nuclear program just for national consumption and they have gone beyond the uranium requirement? Do you think they are telling the truth? Do you believe that? I mean, those are things that you
So
post. You
unless
post.
we don't believe the IEA, right? Because the International Energy Agency, they have how you call them? They have agents in Iran.
Yeah, right.
They have agents, and they've been. Iran has opened up its program for a
Did
long
you not
time.
just see the message from these guys? They said Iran is refusing access. Actually, the leader had said that Iran has developed uranium more than the required amount,
sixty
and Iran
percent
has backed out. Iran has backed out from the deal that they agreed to have inspection of their
Because the
nuclear
deal,
sites.
America canceled the deal. You can't be in a deal by yourself. You cannot be in a deal on your own. If me and you
Well,
have an agreement and you cancel that agreement, I cannot stick to that agreement. I don't have an obligation to. Do I have an obligation? I don't.
no, you,
Iran
you,
doesn't
you.
have an obligation to stick to an agreement that has been
That's
cancelled.
the point. They are making their own. They have to make their own decision according to their own
They have.
interests. Meanwhile, Israel has to make its own decision according to its own interests. And right now, intelligence is conflicting from Iran, from US, and in combination with Israel. But at the end of the day, I can pose the same question to you. Do you believe everything that's coming from Iran? I don't know if you do. Like they say, they don't. They just people who have been shouting death to Israel, death to America for years, and they suddenly have uranium more than the required level. Do you
Iran,
believe that they just want to develop? They just want to develop a peaceful nuclear program, and they don't want
you
to do
know who
anything?
set up the first nuclear civilian program in Iran?
I don't know.
Is the US, the United States. Do you know that?
Yeah, yeah, I don't
So
know, but
the United States started the nuclear program for Iran.
yeah, sure.
When
What
they
does
had
that
their
matter?
puppet, they sat on it.
Yeah,
No, I'm just saying that
yeah,
Iran did not start a nuclear program today or
yeah.
yesterday.
Hmm.
This program started six, how many plus years ago when the United
Of
States had a
course, yeah,
puppet
yeah,
sat in the regime, right? So it's not like Iran all of a sudden jumped up and said, "Oh, we want a nuclear program," because no, America built the first reactors in Iran. America
yeah.
built it. The United States built it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know the point you're trying to drive here.
The
Maybe
point
you
I'm
are.
trying to make is Iran has had a nuclear program for years, and
That's it.
they have never attempted to develop a nuclear weapon.
Well, because they,
There's no
well,
evidence
because
of that.
they've been part of the deal. They've been part of allowing
No, the
inspectors to
deal
come in.
only came into place.
They've been under sanctions.
Let's not mix this up. The JCPOA only came into place in 2015 with Obama. So before the
Yeah.
JCPOA, Iran has had a nuclear program.
Hmm.
So it's not a new. The JCPOA wasn't the first. No, Iran had been running a nuclear program way before Obama came to power, way before 2015.
Hmm.
Again, like I said,
And well, you agree that Obama lifted most of the sanctions on Iran, right?
that was part of the deal. I agree, and that was part of the deal. And I think that was the right way to go.
Well, because Obama, like you, believed Iran. It was like, okay, you guys, we're going to stick to your words, okay? And then what happened? I'm trying to Google why Iran
And
did
nothing
this.
happened until Trump came.
Nothing happened.
Yes, they respected the deal. The deal was in effect until Donald Trump came and said, "I'm not going to go with this nonsense. I'm going to end it." That is the
Okay.
history. JCPOA died.
Well, I can't speak authoritatively because I haven't read that part.
I just read it. I have it here in my notes. I just read
Okay.
that. So I'm
Yeah.
giving you its
Okay.
authoritative,
Sure.
its facts
I mean, I
from the
trust your
State
word.
Department. From the State Department.
Okay. I think we have other tweets. I'm going to look into
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Which one do you want to put up next so we could talk about?
Anyone? Yeah.
So again, the reason why I asked if you felt like the United States and Israel were meeting their objectives was
Yeah.
we'll follow up on the tweet, on this tweet
Yeah.
that Donald Trump put up
This was today. Yeah.
today.
Hmm. Uh,
Well, not Donald Trump personally, but that is a message he
yeah.
passed out.
Someone quoting him that
Right.
Iran is calling the White House and they
The
want to meet.
president
Yeah.
says Iran has reached out about a potential deal and even asked asked to negotiate at the White House. They want to meet, so we'll see. I may do that. Do you
Yeah.
believe that? Let's start there. Do you
I
believe
mean,
that? Do you believe what Donald Trump says?
that's what he said. There's no reason why I don't believe what he said.
Isn't Donald Trump the one who said, "Oh, President Xi has reached out to me. He desperately wants a deal," and then China said, "No, we've never called you." And then eventually we found out that the United States was the one making the call. Do you remember us having that conversation a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. So why should we believe Donald Trump now? Is this not just another lie that he's telling us?
Well, I mean, if he's lying,
Because even the Ayatollah is saying, the
hmm,
Iranian foreign minister is saying, we've not called Donald Trump. We've
mhm,
not called him.
right. Okay, I mean, that's Trump's word. If it comes out that they haven't called him and they haven't asked to meet him, that's a lie. Then that's fine. I'm happy to say he lied about it.
Would you call Donald Trump if you were Iran? So let's
But
go back. Let's go back a little bit.
mhm,
Iran and the United States have been working on a deal, an
right.
agreement, a treaty. I hate calling it a deal. Donald Trump thinks everything is no. They've been working on. They have been negotiating, right,
Yeah.
for a couple of for 60 days, about less, or 60 days more, or about that same time,
Right.
right? Okay. They had a meeting scheduled for Sunday, June the 15th.
Mm-hmm.
American and Iranian negotiators had to meet
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, June the 15th. Friday, June the 13th, Israel attacked them first.
Mm-hmm.
If you were Iran, would you want to go back to Donald Trump?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering the history, would you? So again, when I hear Donald Trump talk,
Mm-hmm.
yes, I have to go back and try to justify that comment.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the surrounding the circumstances under which this attack and this story has developed, if you were Iran, would you want to have any conversation with Donald? Why would you be calling Donald Trump when there's a belief that Donald Trump had plotted with Israel and
Mm-hmm.
Netanyahu to blindside the Iranians
Iran.
to a
Mm-hmm.
false sense of hope
Mm-hmm.
or comfort by
Mm-hmm.
starting this negotiation process. And all through this while, they knew that they were just wanting Iran to let their guards down so they could attack.
Mm-hmm.
That is a common perception.
That's a
So
common
if you were
perception.
Iran, would you be calling the United States?
Well, I don't think you're also giving a full context of it.
Okay, context.
From what I've gotten from US, from Trump particularly, he had given Iran and Israel 2 months to make a deal. Was that true or not? That's what Trump said.
60
Again, you're
days. Yeah,
doubting you're doubting everything he says, but that's what he said.
yeah,
When
60
did
days.
Israel attack? On the 61st day. Okay, because the deal was there, they refused to sign. He had said he has been asking them to sign, and then the deal fell off. If I give you 60 days to sign a deal and you don't sign a deal, what is the expectation that, oh, I'm going to
So,
make it the next week to have another deal? Okay, it's like you go to a car lot and they say you're going to
okay,
buy this car. You have 1 week to buy this car, and then you say, oh no, we want to make the next week. If a week passes and you have not made up your mind, it just shows that you do not want to sign the deal. It's as
the
simple as that.
the reality is this, Ghana. Diplomacy takes time. Okay, diplomacy
We
takes.
understand that.
Listen, no, I know diplomacy takes time. Let's
Right.
Donald Trump has come with let's make a deal. Again, at the end of the day, what has he made? Because deals take time.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't take 60 days to make a deal like
Okay.
that.
Let's continue on my analogy of buying a car. You cannot buy the car in that week, on maybe on the Sunday, the last of the week. Is it your honors to say, oh, I'm having some issues. I can't quite come here to buy this car at this moment. Can we extend? Or you
That's
just
why
say,
they were
fine.
going on. That's why they had a meeting on Sunday, June
Right.
15th. Why were they meeting on June
Well, but
15th? Continue the
Trump,
negotiation.
no, but Trump assessment is the time that the deal was supposed to happen has elapsed. He's like, it's
Why
done.
did he
His
not
patience.
cancel? Why did he not cancel? Why did he not say, okay, your 60 days is done? There's no point to meet after 60 days. Our meeting for Sunday, June the 15th, cancel because you
I
are
don't
not going to
know.
get a deal.
I don't know why he did not cancel. I don't know. But according to what he said, the deal was there for 60 days. You guys did not want to sign. It shows that you're not interested in signing a deal. Whatever
They
Israel wants to
were
do, they can
negotiating.
do.
America
There
does
was
not
a
negotiate.
time, but there was a time frame. You actually assume the
America
time frame
does
did
not
not matter.
negotiate. America does not write a deal, send it to Iran and say, go sign. Nobody does that.
Of course, they can't force Iran to sign a deal. But
Okay.
then if you don't sign it, there are consequences. That's the point that Trump was trying to make. We gave you this thing, you didn't make it. Of course, you're not going to own the car if you don't come in a week, which is the timeline that we all agreed to. If you don't come, that's fine. We can agree to meet next week. You can say call that blindside or that.
Okay.
But the
So,
timeline passed. The timeline did pass. And guess what? Israel attacked. Because in my opinion, I know people are trying to portray Trump as if he's the one. I think he's trying to restrain Netanyahu here because if Netanyahu left his own
how,
devices, which have attacked Iran a long time ago. I think Trump was trying to have this 2 month period. Let's broker a deal with Iran and then stop this from escalating. But 6 months past the timeline, what did Israel do? They attack on the 61st day.
right.
Okay, what does that tell you? That means maybe Iran was not interested in the deal, or they think they were just gonna they think they could do what they do with Biden and Obama, just
So,
just just they
so,
just draw a line in the sand and things
so,
don't really
so,
mean anything.
question.
Yes, sir.
The West, the
Hmm.
West are the United States and their friends,
Hmm.
blame Russia
Ukraine.
for attacking Ukraine.
Yeah.
Russia had their reasons, but they said it
Yeah.
wasn't good enough. There's no reason why you should attack a
Yeah.
sovereign state.
Hmm.
Okay. Now they support Israel,
Hmm.
who has their own reason for. So do you see the picture I'm trying to paint here?
Yeah. Yeah. The hypocrisy.
One, the hypocrisy. One is good, the other isn't.
Hmm.
If Russia has no right to attack Ukraine because they felt Ukraine was a threat,
Hmm.
why should Israel have a right to attack Iran?
Yeah. I mean, I can't
No,
come
I
back
mean,
with any with
let,
any.
let's
It's it's
peel,
it's it's it's
let's
double
peel
standards.
this
Yeah,
off,
for sure.
right? And see, when I say there's an agenda, it's part of me justifying what that agenda is.
Right.
Because just a couple of years ago, Russia was bad for attacking Ukraine,
Yeah.
but now Israel is okay for Israel to attack Iran. It's
Mm.
okay. It's they want to preserve their. It, Russia had the same issue.
Right.
Russia had the same issue.
Yeah. I mean, but when we're talking about
You're
nuclear
putting a bet.
weapons here.
You're putting a bet in that statement. There's no
Yeah,
bet.
because nuclear weapons and nuclear weapons. Well, nuclear weapons is not like any
No,
regular
no,
bomb.
no, no. Ukraine has been talking about nuclear weapons. Don't you know that?
Right.
Don't you know that Ukraine has been saying we are going to start
They do.
our nuclear weapon program
Hmm.
before that attack? So same thing. There's no difference. There's no difference.
But I think.
Russia feared for its safety, and so they
Huh?
attacked Ukraine, and that was bad.
Right.
Israel fears for its safety. They attacked Iran, but that is a good thing. Can you help me make that make sense?
I see the double standard there, and I don't think I can give an appropriate response to
Perfect.
that. But I think uh, again, qualitatively, Russia and Ukraine, it's a different thing. It's Ukraine and Russia. We've talked about this multiple times, but just to focus on the Iran-Israel situation again, it is the government of Iran's policy to eliminate Israel. I don't know why that doesn't seem to register with you. That it is their government policy that they want to get Israel out of the planet of the earth. They want to
It,
what
it, it,
they
it is
find
it is it
they
is it is government policy that America wants to seize the Panama Canal, and America wants to seize Greenland. Correct?
sure, yeah,
No, don't say sure. It's either
yeah.
correct or not.
What is sure? Okay, yes.
No,
You want
no, no.
yes?
That's
Yeah.
not straightforward. Let's not use
Okay,
semantics.
yes,
Say correct.
yes, yeah.
If so so Greenland is what part? Is it Norway? Is Norway, right? Or Denmark?
It's owned by Denmark. Yeah.
Do they have a right now to attack Iran? To attack the United States?
Who has the right? Norway, Denmark.
Yes, because you're threatening to take part of my territory. Do we should we attack? Because it is government policy, right? It is
Mhm.
government policy that
Yeah.
America wants to, just based on what Trump says. Because it's not in the constitution, it's not anywhere. Trump just says we are
But
going to take
wait,
Greenland.
you're not going to box me to a false corner, yeah, because in America they are not saying death to Iceland, they are not saying death to
What does
Norway,
it mean
and
when we
they
say
and
we're
then
going to
more
take
importantly, well, no, because you're trying
isn't
to
that
box
saying
me
death
to.
to you?
You're trying to give me a false dichotomy here, which is not true. It doesn't apply. The analogy doesn't apply because we're talking of someone whose government policy is to destroy, it's not to colonize, it's not to take over, it's not to
One is
make people
better than the
subject
other.
to.
One is better than the other.
Well, to subject somebody is definitely less than to eliminate that person.
Oh, so
To kill
to
somebody,
subject better
of
than
course,
to eliminate.
of course.
Ah, okay.
What do you think is better to kill somebody than to subject somebody?
I don't think that any is better.
Oh, no, no, but if you have to make, because you're putting me in a false dichotomy here that I have to pick one. No, but
I'm
like
giving
it's
you
like,
reality.
oh,
You talked about
it's
government
like
policy based
it's
on
like you're telling me that it's better to have an accident, it's better to die than to have an accident and lose your one leg. That's what. And then maybe the analogy is on what.
There's nothing better. It's better to not have an accident. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, but that's not an option here in the Iran Israel
It could be
situation.
an option. It was an option until they took it out of the table. War was not an option until Israel attacked.
What?
Yes, war was not an option. Iran did not declare war on Israel.
What is that to Israel? What does that sound like to you?
It's not a declaration of war.
What is it?
Man, is it a declaration of war, bro?
It is.
So they've
People
declared war on Israel for 30 years now? Because they've been saying this for the longest time.
how long does it take? Like you can say something for the longest time, but if you don't have the capability, the point is the capability. The point is not the rhetoric. You can say rhetoric as much as you want, but if you do not have the capability to cause harm, what's the point of arguing? The other countries that say dead to Israel, the other countries that say dead, but they are not developing a nuclear program. That seems to be the point that I don't know if you're not trying to accept it or not.
North Korea says dead to America every 2 minutes. I don't see America attacking. Why is that? And they have a nuclear weapon. Do you know why they are not attacking?
Why not?
Because they'll get nuked. That is the only reason North Korea can do whatever it is wants to do. And I think Iran should have learned a lesson. They had 30 years. They have North Korea as a neighbor. They should have learned a lesson. There's no reason why Iran does not have nuclear weapons. Pakistan has it. Pakistan is no more stable than Iran. Pakistan is a rogue state with a nuclear weapon. Everybody says that, but they have it. Pakistan is less stable than Iran. These are facts that I'm giving you. But they have a nuclear weapon. Why is
that? Tell me, why is that? Why is that? Why is even India concerned about Iran's development of nuclear weapon?
Who's concerned?
India.
Everybody's concerned about everybody's developing nuclear weapon. India
has nuclear weapon.
Concerned a lot more about America because they are the only ones who've used the weapons. They're the only nation who've used a nuclear weapon in a war that they had already won. Ghana, we should be worried about the US.
Are you talking atomic bomb? Are you talking about atomic bomb?
Man, what is that? Is that not a nuclear weapon?
It's not a nuclear. It's different from a nuclear weapon.
It's same. Man, come on.
It's different. Atomic bomb
what is it? What is an atomic bomb? You want me to Google it?
Yeah, Google atomic bomb versus nuclear weapon. We're talking about nuclear energy that they're just developing right now.
My brother, yes. An atomic bomb is a type of nuclear bomb. It's a type. It is a nuclear weapon. You can Google it and confirm.
Yeah. Or get some wrong then. Yeah.
It is a nuclear weapon. They are the only ones who have used it. So
they say an atomic bomb. It's atomic bomb and nuclear weapons. Most sides are given mixed answers. I know some. I don't know who is this. This is taking me to Reddit.
Find it. But as you do, do you have something to say while you look before I
no, I mean we'll just go to the next.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any video, I don't know if you have video.
No, we have another. I want us to look about this quote, the one Donald Trump said about. Okay. Sorry. No, not this one. The one about we know exactly. Okay, this is a tweet from Donald Trump.
Yeah,
we know exactly where the so-called I like how he talks. We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but he's safe there. We are not going to take him out. So kill in brackets. At least not for now. But we don't want missiles shots at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Is he normal? Are you sure he is normal?
Oh, Trump is not normal. That's why he's the president of the United States. That's why he's a billionaire. You know, normal people don't.
And you know that I like Trump. Okay,
I know.
But there are things about him that
you do not like. Of course, I know you do.
Like this.
You support Trump in many ways.
about him. I mean, you're president, man. The world write something
we
for the
have
world.
we
Stop
have
writing
known
like a
Trump for the
bad boy charging cargo in Moyoka market. Don't do that. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Who writes like that?
Trump rise like that. You know, we've been covering Trump for the longest time, and he can't deviate from this. Is what makes him who he is,
Yeah, that's typical.
writing like this. And he has people who are typing this for him, and they try to correct it. He said,
Word
no,
for word.
leaves it like that. Yeah. Like if you watch video of the guy trying to type it, he doesn't actually type it. He says it, and he has people that are typing it for him, and they try to correct
Um,
it. He's like, no,
you, you
you're going to put it out like that, you know.
so,
And
so
in
back to
some
the
way, that
question.
has made him
Do
more
you
relatable.
believe you I'm sure you do. We've talked about it. You believe that
Yeah.
they know where the Ayatollah is.
Well, that's what he's saying. Like, why am I? What is my reason to doubt what the president of the United States says? And I'm sure there's potential for him to deceive me and a lot of his followers. There's a potential there, but
Mhm.
I mean, we just have to take his word at face value.
So
What
why
other
not take him out?
intelligence?
I
Eh?
mean, he's the head of the snake. If you
But
know
he
where
just
he is,
said he
why
does.
not?
He does. No, but he
Why
just
not take
said.
him out?
That's why I say Trump is a deterrent to Bibi here, because Trump is actually trying to restrain Bibi. Because you can see, left him, from what I understand, Bibi should have taken out Ayatollah if he had the opportunity to take him out long time ago. But
If he had the opportunity,
yeah,
the Ayatollah is not just someone running around the streets like the other
this
general
is
they took out. He's not like that, right?
he's not,
You
and I'm sure
think
he has his own intelligence.
you think Bibi knows where he is and he's not taking him out for the
Man,
kindness of his heart or for what, for compassion? He is the head of the snake, and they have said
you
it. If we take him
you,
out, everything collapses. If they know that, why are they hesitant?
but you
I,
just said it. If they take him out, everything collapses.
yeah, so why are they hesitant? I mean, the resistance fall, right? Isn't that what Israel wants?
Okay, I don't know where you're going with your argument. It
No,
seems to me that
I'm
you
saying,
want to be more radical than Israel.
it's not me being more radical. It's me.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
you're making
me.
an argument for them to take out the supreme leader, knowing that that's going to lead to full chaos in the region.
No, not full chaos. It's going to lead to the end of that regime. Just like you said, it is the regime that wants
The
that wants
elimination of
the
Israel.
elimination of Israel, not the people. Correct?
Right.
So if you take out the head of the regime, you take out that problem. You solve that problem immediately, right?
Well, but the other things that you
What
have to
you
account for,
we've said
the other
we've said
things you have,
we,
the other things
listen,
you have to account.
you can't eat your cake and have it. Okay? Israel cannot eat their cake and have it.
You are just doing that. You are going more rogue than Israel. You are telling Israel to do the things that they are not even doing, to go further than they are doing right
The point
now.
I'm trying to make is that they can't, and there's reasons why they cannot do it. They either don't know where he is, or they lie when they talk about their purpose
I
for
mean that
conquering
I can't
Israel.
deny that. That's a possibility. That's it. That's
Perfect.
a strong possibility. Of course,
That's
I
the
cannot deny
that's
that.
the message I'm trying to drive through.
Oh yeah, no, of course, it's a strong possibility that there's propaganda and there's lies and I mean, it happens. So I can't deny that. It's a
Perfect.
possibility. It's also a possibility that they know where he is.
And the reason why I don't believe them it is because we have a list of people, generals and top
Yeah,
scientists and people who they have eliminated.
right.
Right? I mean,
Hmm.
the first guy I can't see his name clearly here because
Yeah, I mean, we
the
just know
first
they've
guy is
eliminated a lot of people.
closest to the
Yeah.
Ayatollah.
Hmm.
I mean, a close aid to the
Hmm.
Ayatollah, right?
Yeah.
Why not cut the head of the snake?
I don't know. I really don't know. But
Something we should think about. I don't have the answer. Probably you
oh,
don't,
I
but
don't,
that's
of
something that
course.
we should think
But
about.
my feeling is they are weighing. They know that it's going to
Be-
cause like
Because
serious
the truth
repercussions.
is that policy, and again, I'm using your words, that
Mhm.
policy will never change as long as the Ayatollah lives and leads that regime. Do you
Right.
agree?
Yeah.
So why not
Yeah.
cut the
Yeah.
head of the
Yeah.
snake?
And I think that's part of Israel's process too. They want a regime change in
So cut the head of the
Iran.
snake.
Yeah. I don't think I want Israel to go that far. I understand you want to go that radical. You
The
want them to
point
go that
is,
radical.
how are they going to accomplish their goal?
Right. Yeah.
If they
Israel's
don't,
goal is
if the Ayatollah stays
yeah.
and continues to lead a government, they would
Mhm.
continue to chant death to America. It's not going to change. No matter
Right.
how many bombs they drop on them, dead to
Right.
America will. I mean, Iraq. Even in Iraq, they are still
Anybody
fighting.
and anybody can chant dead to America. I mean, Americans even in America chant dead to America and burn the America flag. It happens even in the United States.
So it
The
means nothing,
problem, no, it means nothing. The problem
right?
is the nuclear weapon.
Unless you want it to mean something. Unless you say
No, no,
it
no, no,
means something
no,
because
no,
I
no.
am saying it.
Unless you're developing nuclear weapon, why do you seem to ignore that fact?
They don't. They are not developing nuclear weapons.
Well,
If
that's what
already
you're saying.
agreed.
That you
No,
okay?
no,
Why do you
no,
believe? Why do you believe Iran? Why do you believe
no.
Iran?
I don't believe Iran. The International Energy Agency is saying that.
What?
That is who has control, who has been to Iran, who has done reviews and reports. That is who is saying. So who should
What?
we believe, man? I think that's where the problem is.
That's
Netanyahu.
where the problem. Yeah, because you are making a very legitimate concern. You're asking me, do I believe Trump? Do I believe Netanyahu? I don't know what else should I say. I don't know. I can pose back the question to you. Do you believe Ayatollah? Do you believe Iran government? Do you believe everything they tell you? We don't know. We're just two people who are just believing what other people are saying. So it depends on what you believe. That's just what it comes down to.
How do you think?
Is there a possibility that they are lying to me? Absolutely, there is a possibility. How do I know it's true? How do I know what they're telling me is
Right.
true or not? That's a fair question to ask. I don't know. There's nothing
Do,
within
do you
my.
do you do you see why I might be skeptical?
Of course, I absolutely say that, and I sympathize because I know that especially Netanyahu gave false information that led to the invasion of Iraq. Of course, you have legitimate reasons to be skeptical,
Okay.
but I can also ask you: do you believe what they say? Are you skeptical of what Iran says? Do you have the devices to verify whether they're telling the truth or not? You don't. That will just come on two common people who really
No,
have.
but again, we might be two common people, but there's a lot of information out there, and I mean, me and you are well read and reasonable enough to tease what might be
Yeah.
fake and what might be real.
Right.
I have given you examples, clear examples.
Mhm.
I've talked about Tulsi Gabbard
Yeah, yeah,
on
I
air.
know.
I have
I,
talked
I talked
about
about
the
that.
International Energy Agency,
Right.
who still they up till now they still have uh, uh, um there's a name for their agents. They still have
Hold on, let me see.
technicians who are constantly, even until now, they haven't moved, they haven't left, they are still there.
That's in
Yes,
Iran. Yeah.
Iran might have been upset or felt betrayed at some point and said,
Mhm.
well, you're not going to come into these reactors or that reactors or here or there. They have
Right.
limited their movement, but they still have a level of accuracy when they speak about these things. And I have read the last report that they wrote. It doesn't say Iran is developing a nuclear weapon. It doesn't say
Right.
that.
Yeah.
It says
Yeah.
they have reached up to
Hmm.
60%, but it
No,
does not say that they have.
but that's the whole goal of Netanyahu to prevent Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. They say Iran is close. They are not saying Iran has a nuclear weapon. They say they are close to developing one, and
They were
Netanyahu
close
wants to
30 years
stop.
ago. And again, that is the point. And that's where I'll
Okay,
go back.
we're just
30
going
years
round and
ago,
round
no,
now.
again, Ghana, you understand why I
No,
will
I
take you back
understand why you're
30
skeptical. No,
years
I
ago.
understand why. I
30
do
years ago,
understand.
Benjamin Netanyahu said Iran was close.
I know. I
You,
do
you know
understand
what?
why. I think any reasonable person should be skeptical, and it makes perfect sense. You
How
should
do
not
you think
believe
this is
what.
going to end as we round
Man,
up?
I don't know. I don't know.
How does this end?
I hope tensions can calm down and killings can stop. And I mean, there's killings on both sides too. So I hope tensions can calm down. As to if you're asking about the Iran's nuclear weapon program, I don't know. I don't know because
Do you think that this attack will give Iran an incentive to now want a nuclear weapon?
I think so. They'll be probably more
Man,
motivated to have one.
come on, man, come on. You
I
have
think
to speak
so.
with the same level of enthusiasm. Don't.
What should I?
You now you sound like a deflated balloon, man. I want you to be as vibrant as you were when.
Well, because I don't know. I can't predict the future. That's the point. I
I
can't
mean,
predict the
common
future.
sense. Common sense. Me and you is common sense we're talking about
Right.
now.
Well, from
If
what I
you
saw,
were
from
Iran,
what
do you
yeah.
believe there's an incentive for you to want a nuclear weapon now?
Yeah, I can say from Iran's point of view. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what I don't know what you want me to say, but
You
yeah,
said
I can see. So I mean, I was just looking at the discourse they're having in their parliament. A lot of people are probably more motivated, you know.
mhm.
So they're probably more determined to do that. Okay. Um, um,
There's a lot of
in
political
fairness,
will now.
yeah, this is more of a political will now. In fairness, I'm going to ask you: if you're Israel, do you think you're going to be attacking Iran more to prevent nuclear weapon?
More.
Yeah.
I mean, if they don't succeed now, how much more do you think they will need?
Ah,
If they don't succeed now, where Iran was, most people would say was taken by surprise. They were unawares they were not ready for this.
yeah, yeah.
How much more attacks do you think Israel needs
I don't know.
to
I know.
win this?
I
This is
know
the only
someone
chance
like
they got. If they don't cut the head of the snake now, it's never
I
going to
I
happen.
I think Israel's long-term goal is for regime change. They are hoping that they are going to spread the Iranians to be able to riot their government and vote this current government out and put people who are more moderate.
They said the same thing for Russia. You remember?
Yeah, I
They said
know.
the same thing. Oh, Putin,
Yeah, yeah,
they're going to squeeze the economy. The ruble is going to turn to ruble, to rebel. This, that.
yeah, yeah.
Putin is still there.
Putin is still there. Like that's the point. Like
And
no one can detect it. It's getting stronger, and no one can predict the future. Like you're asking me to be God here, my friend. You're asking
no,
me to predict where tomorrow.
I'm asking us to look back at history. Because again, they say history, things
No,
that
but you
happen
just asked
now.
me to say if people are going to develop more. I just say, yeah, I can see why they'll be more incentivized to and committed to a nuclear
I
program.
mean,
Of
it's
course,
obvious now, my friend. It's obvious. It's
it's
obvious.
of
It is
course.
obvious.
So
North Korea, after the Korean War and they had the armistice that they had, it's only after
yeah,
that North Korea decided, America is sitting right there with weapons on my head. I can't sit here with
I
no
can see it.
defenses. And they
Yeah,
started a nuclear weapon program.
sure.
You remember? I mean, Iraq. Take Iraq. When Saddam Hussein actually had a program, nobody attacked Saddam Hussein
Hmm.
until they convinced him to do away with his chemical weapons program. Then, as soon as he did that, what happened? They attacked.
Yeah, yeah,
Lessons to be learned. Take Libya, for example. When Gaddafi had his weapon of his chemical weapons program, nobody could attack him because they knew there would be consequences.
hmm,
So
hmm.
nobody was willing to attack. They convinced him and convinced him and convinced him. And when he did away with his chemical weapons program, what did they do? They attacked him. Take Syria. I'm giving you these are chains of events.
Hmm.
People need to learn from history. Syria, for example, Assad had a chemical weapons program too.
Hmm.
Convinced and pressured and convinced and pressured and convinced and pressured until he said, okay, yeah, we'll do away. Russia come, take this away. We are shutting down our productions. And what happened?
Yeah. So
Iran has to learn the lesson.
to
Iran needs
develop a
a
nuclear
nuclear
program.
weapon right now. They have to start
Okay.
testing it right now before the dust settles, before everything is done. Because again, Israel is not going to succeed in this. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, they would back out as they
Okay.
backed out from
Do you
Yemen,
think
as they
is
backed out from. Sorry,
Do you think Israel will be more incentivized to stop Iran from developing a nuclear program?
how? This is the only chance they have. If they
What do
don't
you mean by
use
this
it,
is the only chance they have? They have operated in Iran for the longest time. They have spies in Iran for the longest time.
so
You know,
now
like
again, now is you. What do you think Iran is going to do? Choke. They are going to choke that. They are going
choke what?
again. Spies. They're going to fish them out. They're going to change things. They're going to once once you use once
And you
you
say this is the first time that Israel has used spies in Iran?
how many how what do you mean by this is not the first time?
Israel has always had spies in Iran. You know, how
Just
did
like
they
Iran,
kill?
I mean everybody's spying on everybody.
Yeah, everybody's spying on everybody.
But
And I'm
now you
sure.
think Iran is not going to, consolidate and change their system and update and adjust?
Well, do you think Israel is just going to stay stagnant
Again,
and
it's
just.
not. It's going to
They,
be a
they're go-
battle, and that's what. And again, we don't know. That's why I said they have a window. This is the window. Israel has a window of opportunity now. If they miss it, that is
no.
it. Iran will
Uh,
have a nuclear weapon.
I don't think so. This war is going to end. It's going to come down, and the war will continue. and things are going to happen. You're still going to get escalations here and there in the future, but at the end of the day, it's still going to come down.
Iran is going to get a
Wow.
nuclear weapon. Mark my words.
Oh, okay, sure,
We can talk
yeah,
about this when they have it.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean that's
Iran
I
is going to
can't
have
deny with that prediction. That is it's a strong possibility.
it. Right.
Yeah, sure, but it's
Israel
also a
already
strong possibility.
Israel already has it. So they can either use it so Iran doesn't exist, or they can fumble now and
You
make
are
Iran
radical.
become
You are very
nuclear.
radical, my friend. You are
It's not
very
radical.
radical. You are
I'm
radical.
not. No, it's not radical. This is
It's
me being
radical.
sarcastic. It's me saying things that everybody Israel wants to say. Israel wants to use.
No,
Israel wants to use a nuclear weapon
on who?
on Iran.
Well, but
They
you were
know that there's
just
consequences. That is the only thing that's stopping them. There is going to
okay.
be serious consequences if they try it.
Yeah. So you are trying to suggest that Israel at least are trying to play by the rules.
They are not playing by no rules
Okay. So why are they not using the nuclear weapons that they
because they
have?
know they will not survive if they use it.
From
Israel
what?
would cease to be Israel if they use a nuclear weapon.
Okay, I think we're just going round and round.
No, Pakistan has said it. If Israel uses a nuclear weapon, Pakistan is going to bomb them out
Well,
of the planet of Earth.
yeah,
Pakistan,
but
it's not some funny. It's an official government statement. Pakistan is saying it, and it's not just Pakistan.
okay. So Pakistan is not necessarily against Israel getting stopping Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Their red line
But they
is
will
Israel
not
should not.
use a nuclear weapon on Iran
But
and
Israel is not
survive.
interested. Israel is not interested in using nuclear
Well,
weapons.
again, deterrence, right? The
Well,
only reason they are not using
but
it is because they know that there's going to be serious. Israel will cease to exist if they do use it.
no, but they're attacking Iran already without even using a
It's not a
nuclear weapon. What's
nuclear
the point
weapon
of a
we're
nuclear
talking about.
weapon?
No, I'm talking about use of a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, but from the way they're operating now, they don't even need to use a nuclear
They
weapon.
need it.
They can
That's
come
the
in and
thing.
shut. They have come in and shut the airspace. They are operating without even Iran realizing it. Why do you even need a nuclear weapon?
They're shutting the airspace, Ghana.
Didn't they show, why do you think they were able to attack nuclear plants in Iran?
Are you really? Are you actually? Are you following the news properly?
Aren't you?
Who are you listening to?
Wait, okay, how do you think Israel came, assembled drones in Iran, and then attacked Iran from within? How did you think that happened?
It's not having control of the airspace, man. Let's be
Well, no,
realistic.
I'm not saying total control, but they were able
So Ukraine has
to
done the same thing to Russia. Does Ukraine controls Russian airspace? It's the
I
same.
mean,
You remember this is the same style where they smuggle, they find a way to ship drones into Russia, and then they assemble them there, and then they use it. Would you say that Ukraine has control of over Russian airspace?
well,
You
the
can't
U.S.
say that.
president, the U.S. president said that.
They are shooting down their jets.
But
Haven't they? They've shot three
wait,
jets.
the U.S. president
So
said
they
that.
don't have space. They don't shoot these missiles in Ukraine, in in Iran. They're shooting it from outside. They're shooting it from Iraq. They're shooting it from Syria. They know that Iran has
No. But the U.S. president said they had control of the
Trump
Iran.
Trump has control over everything.
Okay, you don't believe what he says. I
No, he
believe
has
what he says.
control
I
over
think that
everything. Me and you know that he has control over everything. Yet they are
true.
shooting down F-16s, and they are shooting. You have
Yeah,
control over airspace. They should be shooting. Iran should not be able to shoot one missile. When you
yeah,
have control over somebody's airspace, a missile
sure.
cannot leave that territory and get to Israel. But they are doing that every day, 2 times, 3 times a day.
Yeah,
Barrage of
sure.
drones and missiles. How are they going through?
Yeah.
When they talk
Well,
about having control and a no-fly zone, it means nothing leaves. Nothing comes. Nothing leaves.
mhm.
That is what Trump has no control. If not, Israel will not be pounding. They will not be pounding Israel with missiles upon drone, upon this, upon that. They have no control over the airspace. That is a fact.
Well, fair.
I'm
Um,
sure you agree that if I have control over your airspace, nothing leaves that space.
well, I
Do you
mean,
agree?
well,
It's
true,
not
but it
semantic.
depends. True, but it depends on what you mean by. Do they have total control? I don't think so. But they had some level of
Come
control
on
to be
now, you
able to
either
carry.
have control or you don't.
No, because you.
He says we have control. He didn't say we have partial. He says we have control. I'm going by
But he
his
didn't
word.
say we have. He didn't say we have complete. So
But
you are
when you
reading
say you
complete.
have control, man, come on, Seman. This is
No,
that
no, no,
thing.
no. Yeah,
What
no.
are you teaching?
Yeah, but when you say control, it's you mean say complete. I'm
I
just saying
control
they.
misery. Ghana, when I say I get control over this thing, what does that mean?
eh, Well,
If it's partial control, I will say, Master, I the manager, I get partial control here and there, this and this can happen. That is partial. But when I say I have control over something, man, I have control over it.
no, but control can still mean partial. You can still mean control over that means you can destroy it or you can do already. But
So
control can also.
when missiles leave Iran, is because America doesn't want to destroy it. They want to try to destroy it when it gets to Israel.
I don't know. I don't have an idea.
Again,
But
na common sense, na
you're
common
reading
sense that
complete
thing, Ghana.
control. I'm
No,
not. I'm not.
again, na common sense that me and you move talk even for pigeon. When some person say, man, I'm here to control the terrain.
Yeah. It means say you know any dog. You know all
It means
procedure where they
you're
pass for
supposed to
that
know
terrain.
every if dog
Why you
pass.
supposed no? No, no,
Why
no.
you
You're
know?
not supposed no. I mean, Cameroon government get
Don't
control
we
over
want to
Norway.
buy don't we want to buy Yamami?
Eh?
Because those missiles are hitting Israel too. You know they
No,
say
but
Israel is safe. Israel is hitting
when man talks, I get
targets
control.
sometimes
When
two
man,
or three times a day.
I mean,
That way they are shooting missiles even during the day.
yeah,
For
yeah.
tell Israel say no, it's not a matter of night. Oh, we shoot until for data, it meter you. More talk and have
Uh, anyway, control, are complicated. Oh.
okay,
It's
okay. Oh. Now you know
complicated.
the go now for define. The other one, the way they want the Ayatollah statement. Oh, I feel break and down into bits and pieces now. Tell you say
Yes,
it is
yeah.
just talking a different thing, right? Yeah.
Fair, fair.
Now good conversation. I think the debate you
Yeah,
prepare.
no, no good.
I'm sure
Huh?
you prepare. Oh, you know prepare fine.
This I never go reverse again.
I need church on bala for the conversation. Move
I
keep it
know.
today.
I mean, yeah, we don't talk enough for group
Yeah.
already. So
Anyway, yeah, of course we will keep, we'll keep this. I mean,
uh,
it's just the beginning. It's just 6 days.
yeah, because
And
I'm
these
sure more
people
will
have
happen.
pledged to go back and forth for a month plus. Iran, well, they are saying that Iran is running out of missiles. Again, they are shooting ballistic and hypersonic missiles. They don't need to shoot a whole lot because these are a lot more precise, and a lot more of them go through the Iron Dome and all the anti-missile systems that Israel has. So they don't
Yeah.
need to shoot a lot of them because they are hitting
Mhm.
targets. So that is happening. Of course, Israel is shooting and killing people. A lot more people. Again, it's not by how many people you kill at the end of the day, right? Again, I made this point. It's not by how many the number of people you've killed or wounded. It's by how much damage you cause to relevant targets. You
Yeah.
could bomb
Yeah.
a house here, there, kill three, four
Yeah.
people here and there. If you're not hitting the actual targets, then you're just wasting your time.
Mhm.
Let's even talk about
I think Israel is being strategic. They're trying to break down facilities and things that they consider to be potential for nuclear weapon. They're not really interested in killing people.
no, but they
I
are killing a
think,
lot of people.
but they are killing people. Yeah, true.
Yeah,
But I
as
think
usual. Again, it's not news to me and you.
yeah,
That
yeah.
is that's something that they do.
True. But again, it seems to me that their aim is to destroy the potential for nuclear weapon. Of course, people are dying there, which is sad. But I don't think Iran is doing necessarily the same. They are just shooting missiles randomly. Do you think they are
No, no,
targeting?
no. They are shooting. They have targets.
Yeah,
I
but they are killing people too, right?
no. I mean, comparatively, Iran. There's 7, 8, 9, 10 people so
Mhm.
far on Israel, and
Yeah,
there's 200 and 300 up to going to
yeah,
300
yeah,
for Iran. So again, like I said, it's not about how many people you kill.
yeah.
Because Israel,
I
if
agree
it
with
was
that
about
statement.
the people you kill, Israel would there would be no Hamas. There would be nothing left in Gaza.
Right. Yeah.
So it's not about who you kill. It's what how much damage you do, right?
Sure.
So there's that. I watched something. I watched a podcast today, and this specialist engineer was explaining how this Iranian nuclear sites were built
Hmm.
deep under the ground, deep under the mountain. And then they have a certain way that they build this thing. They have kind of a diamond dome under with very solid rocks, deflective. So
Hmm.
when America comes and drops these bunker busters What happens is, oh, sorry, I'm way up here. It's like this, right? It's a triangular thing.
yeah,
What happens is the bomb comes straight, right? And it definitely it doesn't hit straight, it hits sideways, and
yeah,
so automatically creates a deflection. And
yeah,
the argument he was making is that they can drop as many bunker busters as they want. They might not be able to cause a significant damage
yeah,
to those nuclear plants. It does make sense. I mean, I'm not a physicist, a scientist.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
explaining it well enough. But when you listen to him, how he explained how this bomb operates and how they've built this defensive, you can see that again.
yeah,
If you drop something and there's a sharp
yeah,
deflection, it's possible that it goes. So again, I'm just saying that like it's again, there's a lot of, they call it, is it fog of war? We're
I
not
don't know.
sure exactly what
Yeah,
is happening because things are, things are, there's a lot happening and there's nothing happening at the same time, right?
yeah,
So I know that we've talked a lot
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
Some of these, I think information gotten out of that talk.
yeah, yeah.
But, yeah,
I'm
but
sure Iranians are smart people too.
I'll let you
They
continue.
are they're prepared
I feel
for
like
war, and they know this happened. But
I feel
inside
like I
the
feel like
like the
I feel like I'm Makani in this. You remember Makani, who
mechanic.
all the time that they had during the debate? I
Yeah.
feel like I'll talk too much.
Well,
You know.
I mean, you to be fair, you made interesting points, and um, um, I you follow this, you follow what is happening there, and you make convincing arguments. So that's fair. I still haven't gotten. I still see why Israel feels like they are threatened by Iran's potential for nuclear weapon.
Mhm.
I think it's still a potential threat. I don't. I have not been convinced. Maybe you are. I have not been convinced that Iran just wants a peaceful nuclear plant, like any other country. Like even Pakistan, like you said, is a rogue country, but they do have a nuclear plant. So I don't know. I don't think I'm convinced that they are out for their own good just to develop it for people who have said that they really want to wipe Israel. So you seem to believe Ayatollahs. I seem to doubt them. I think it comes down to that. Oh, I believe what the US president right now is saying. And there's the potential that align to me, that's for sure.
Mhm.
I suggest to you that there's also a potential that the Ayatollah. I mean, and not that they're in lie. I mean, just believe what they're saying. That's my just believe what they say. When someone tells you they're going to do something, just believe them. That's it.
I think a nuclear weapon comes with responsibility.
Yeah,
I get the feeling that it comes with a lot of responsibility. You
I
can't,
think so.
you have it, you can't just, and that's why Israel is not using it on Iran, even
Yeah,
though they might really feel threatened. They can't just you can't just use
yeah.
it. And
Mhm.
if I believe that Israel cannot just use a nuclear weapon on Iran like that, even though they
You
hate
want to share the
Iranians,
same?
they hate Iranians that much, I have to believe too that the Ayatollahs will not use it because again, it comes with a lot of responsibility. It's power, and it comes with a lot of responsibility. I know that the United States used a nuclear weapon several years back, but that
Yeah.
was new. The concept was new. Now it's a whole it's different. They can't just
Fair,
use
fair.
it
Fair
haphazardly,
enough.
right? So it's
But
that
but, but, but,
responsibility.
but what baffles me with your argument? You are fine to say that you doubt and you're skeptical from what Netanyahu is saying because of what he said in the past that has not come true. But in the same vein, you know what the Iranians are saying. You know that they are saying dead to Israel, dead to America, but you seem to give them a pass there. I don't know I think that's a double standard on your part. When someone has shown you that they are able to do something, believe them, or they are able to give you faulty information, believe them, or they are able to give you the right information. You don't seem to believe that.
I
Am
don't know
I?
how to respond to that.
I mean, I totally understand that I mean, the track record of Netanyahu is very sketchy, and he has led a lot of countries to war. Sure, and you're within your right, and I'm skeptical too of things that come from him, but that's what they say right now. I'm skeptical. You don't seem to show that level of skepticism when people actually say that they want to nuke out Israel, or not nuke because it's not nuke out, but they want to develop it. You seem to give them more of a benefit of that they really don't mean that.
Just because I don't, they haven't given me any reason to believe that that I could take that seriously. They haven't. They've Iran hasn't attacked Israel. Iran hasn't attacked the United States. Even a couple of months ago when they had this, Iran was very measured
But
in the
Israel is
response.
saying Hamas is
Israel always
sponsored by
starts,
Iran.
and let's not forget, Israel has always been the one to start the fight. Israel has always been the one to attack. Iran did not attack Israel a couple of months back. Israel attacked Iran.
Okay. Let's back up a little bit here. Israel is going to Iran. Obviously, they have a history that Iran is concerned, but the main trigger is that Hamas was sponsored by Iran. Hamas attacked them on October 7th, almost 2 years ago. That is why they, in that effort to completely destroy Hamas, they want to go to the main source of the sponsor of Hamas. Isn't that it?
Um, United States. I'll give you. I'll
No,
contradict.
Israel. Israel.
No, let me say what I'm trying to say. The United
Yeah.
States
Mhm.
and Britain and France and Germany are financing and supporting and providing intelligence to Ukraine. I don't see Russia attacking any of them, not even their assets. You know
Right.
why?
No, tell me why.
For obvious reasons. It's very obvious. They might be providing support, but they are not attacking you. Deal with the person. Deal with whoever is attacking. It's Ukraine.
Yeah.
Even though we all know that these people are supporting, they're providing weapons, they're providing intelligence, they're providing this, they're providing that.
Hmm.
I mean, you might even argue that we have American agents in Ukraine,
Hmm.
coordinates and maybe even teaching them how to use those weapons.
Sure.
Russia attacking any of these people. So
Mhm.
why Israel do again? I'm trying to hold these two in this, because again these are two very similar situations. They are quite
Mhm.
similar, but one seems to be more okay than the other, right?
Well, one has to do with nuclear weapon.
No, or both have to deal with nuclear weapons.
Which one has to do with nuclear?
I mean, Ukraine
So
has been
far,
talking about nuclear weapons for a long time.
I don't know if that's the
No,
main
say you
reason
don't
why.
know. You know that they
No,
have
no,
been
no. But
talking about it.
I don't know that that's the main reason why
It's one
Russia went to
off. It's
Ukraine.
one off.
No, but
It's one
it's not the main reason why. I mean, it's probably one of, but it's not the main reason why Russia went to Ukraine.
one off.
Yeah,
Like I
but the
said,
main
one.
reason why Israel is going to Iran is because they want to stop the potential of developing nuclear weapons. So that's the main
Is
reason.
it that they want? Is it regime change? They want? Is it stopping a nuclear
I
weapon?
mean,
They want peace
in
is it wiping Iran out of the face of the earth? What is it?
the main one is to stop the potential to develop nuclear weapon, and their other strong agenda is to affect regime change in Iran. But the main goal is to stop the development of nuclear weapon. I mean, that's what they say, because the development of nuclear weapon by Iran is an
Hmm.
existential threat to Israel.
I don't know how well that has worked for them. It's I mean regime change has not worked for them. I
It
mean
has, and I don't
Venezuela
support
is still
regime
there,
change.
Cuba is still there. They've been
Yeah,
regime changing Cuba for a long
you have
time.
to say hi
Venezuela is
to
still there.
Mommy Gray in power.